I didn't want to get out of bed on Wednesday morning. I pulled up the covers over my head so that the world would be as dark as I felt. I wanted to be alone, like the words of Rabbi Hillel in Pirkei Avot, "B'makom she'ein anashim hishtadel lihiyot ish." In a place where there are no people, you must strive to be a person. That's how I felt, like I had to be a person all by myself. And I want to acknowledge again all the different emotions that people are bringing into this room. Some of us are excited or surprised. Others are fearful and heartbroken. There's anger and confusion. This room is a churning sea of feelings. And all of them are true and real and honest. And all of it is who we are as a community of blessed diversity. But I think that all of us can agree that there's an overwhelming feeling of uncertainty today. Whether you voted for the president-elect or for someone else, there is a sense that we have gone off script. That we are starting a new book with characters and plot twists we cannot yet imagine. For many of us, even those of us who have voted in the past for candidates who did not win, this moment does not seem normal. And for some of us, this moment does not seem safe. And so we enter into this Shabbat holding up the candles like a torch, hoping they will shed some light on where we're going. We used to know the path ahead, whether we liked the direction or not. Now we are struggling to find the trail, and we don't know where we're headed. I can only imagine how you feel, so I'll speak for myself. I feel numb. I feel busted open. I feel heartbroken. I feel like things I thought I could trust, like data and journalism, have revealed themselves to be less reliable than I thought. Like as if the curtain was pulled back, revealing that the great Oz was just an old man frantically working the controls, trying to keep the illusion going. But more painfully, I feel distant from my fellow Americans. Like many of us during this election season, I could not fathom the other side, especially its most ardent voices. But I felt comfort in the conviction that they were a small minority. Then on election day, no matter who we voted for, we all found out that more than 50 million Americans voted for the other side. I felt shocked by how distant my life experience is from some of my fellow Americans. I felt like Abraham in the Torah this week, instructed by God to go to a land you do not know. I feel like I am already in a land I do not know. I want to be the kind of person who can imagine other people complexly. I'm not there yet. But I will try, and we must try. To meet the other, to know each other better. Our country cannot be like oil and water struggling to separate themselves and to put one on top of the other. The Torah teaches over and over and over that I should love my neighbor as myself. Jewish history is the story of expanding our definition of the word neighbor, and so is modern civilization. But how can I love someone who I cannot even imagine? We can love people only when we know them. I don't think we've done enough loving our neighbors in recent years. I pray and I hope that this election will lead to a greater coming together, not a greater splitting apart. I'm thinking that Rabbi Hillel was wrong when he said, in a place where there are no people, you must strive to be a person, because there are people here. And that's how we got into this mess in the first place, our inability to see the other side as human, to understand their needs and their fears and their dreams. Hillel's presupposition is false. There are humans here. We are all struggling. We are all striving. We are all searching. I want to amend Rabbi Hillel to say, in a place that is full of the diversity of humans, we must strive to be humans. Our humanity is not defined in the face of opposition, it's defined in the embrace of it. I don't know what we'll do next, but I want to say something about what we will not do. We will not abide in tolerance in any form, certainly not within these walls. We will not let this election be a referendum on hatred. We will not abide bullies here. The Zionist pioneer Yehiel Weingarten writes, "I won't teach our children to hate." And we will not give up. I'll be honest. The painful truth is that I think we will see some increases in anti-Semitism in the coming years. But I don't think they will present a physical danger. I pray that I'm right. But I will say that if we see our Muslim neighbors, our law-abiding Muslim neighbors, facing the same kind of intimidation and discrimination and the threat of violence that we experienced in the early 1930s in Germany, we will not remain silent. And we will speak up to protect the rights of people of color. We will speak up to protect immigrants and refugees, our loved ones who are undocumented or who have undocumented family members, those who are gay and those who are transgendered. We will speak up in our synagogue. We will speak up in our community and in our country. Wednesday was a day of broken glass. Not the glass of a glass ceiling, as some of us had hoped, but it was the 78th anniversary of the Kristallnacht pogrom in Germany. And as we continue to pick up the pieces, we will be reminded we will not be silent. Which brings me to the prevailing emotion of this election season: fear. Fear on both sides, fear of each other, fear of the other. It started to feel like fear was the central emotion of our modern age, but it is not the default position. Fear is a choice. Fear is a monster who knocks on the door of the house hoping to be invited in, but we need not let it live here. And there is an opposite choice. The opposite choice is hope. Fear may be the easier choice, but hope is the more transformative one. Hope is not a thing that happens to you. It's not only a noun, it's a verb. It's a thing you choose every day. It's not a coincidence that the national anthem of the state of Israel is called Hatikva, the hope. It's not a coincidence that it contains the words, Od lo avda tikvatenu, our hope, a hope of 2,000 years, is not yet lost. Because Jews choose hope. Hope is an audacious choice. It's a countercultural choice. It's a revolutionary choice. Think of the story of Hanukkah. It's an inherently hopeful story. When the days are shortest and the darkness creeps in, when the winter wind blows, Jews choose to light candles. We choose to bring light into darkness, and we celebrate a miracle of light. But not only a miracle, a choice. The Maccabees found only oil enough to last a single day, and they knew it was going to take 8 days to purify new oil, and they lit the lamp anyway. That is the audacious choice of hope, to know that the oil cannot last, and to light the lamp anyway, to choose to hope. Jews choose hope. When Abraham heard the call of Lech Lecha to leave his father's house and his homeland and head out to a land he did not know, he didn't argue, he just went, because Jews choose hope. When the Egyptian Pharaoh commanded Israelite mothers to cast their baby boys into the Nile, one woman chose instead to weave her son a basket, because Jews choose hope. When the sea would not part, one Israelite walked into the waters until they lapped at his lips, because Jews choose hope. When the Israelites were parched in the desert and thought they would surely die, Miriam prayed and a miraculous well sprung up for her out of nowhere, because Jews choose hope. When the temple was destroyed and we could no longer sacrifice, the rabbis created the Siddur, a new way to worship God that they could take with them wherever they went, because Jews choose hope. During the Spanish Inquisition, Jews found ways to practice their faith in secret at risk of death, choosing to maintain their relationship with God even if it cost them their lives, because Jews choose hope. Our ancestors left behind their homes and their families, and they sailed across the sea to this country because they wanted a better life for themselves and for their children, because Jews choose hope. We will not let the temptation to choose fear rule our lives, because we will make the bolder, more powerful choice, because Jews choose hope. I will not teach our children to hate. I will not let them learn the wrong lessons from this election. I will not let them learn that bullies win in the long run. I will not let them learn that some people are worth less than others. I will not let them learn that strength is more virtuous than kindness. I will not let them learn that hate is more powerful than love, because Jews choose hope. The prophet Isaiah says that God's house will be a house of prayer for all people. And that will be true of this house. No matter who is president, this will be a house of prayer for all people, gay and straight and black and white and brown, Native American and Latino, cisgendered and transgendered, documented and undocumented. This will be a house of prayer for all people, Jews and Christians and Muslims, and this will not just be a house of prayer, but a house of hope, because Jews choose hope. Psalm 89 contains the words, Olam chesed yibaneh. A world of love will be built. I will build a world from love. And we will build a world from love. And if we build a world from love, then God will build a world from love. Olam chesed yibaneh, because if our thousands-year story has taught us anything, it's that love is stronger than hate, and hope is stronger than fear. And so, in spite of losses in the short term that want us to choose otherwise, Jews choose hope. Olam chesed yibaneh. The glue with which we will repair this broken world isn't hate or fear. It's chesed. It's love. I might not see it yet. I'm not even sure I can believe it yet. But I will choose it every day, because Jews choose